So basically, in the last video I mentioned that I would be making a more in-depth tutorial on how to edit your guitar loops and samples, because I did it very quickly in the video before. So I'll be showing you how to do that today. That's why I have the same beat that I made in the last video playing in the intro for this video. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's @NickYoungin, and we're gonna get right into the video. So basically, I got this cymatics loop. It's a cymatics called Left Behind. It's at 140 BPM. So, we got that. We set it to a mixer track so that we can edit that. And so basically, we want to have the tempo of the sample at the same tempo that we have in FL Studio, so then we can stretch it. So then we can change the tempo of the sample without having to re-stretch it and stuff like that. So I'm just going to set it at 145 BPM to start. And here's what it sounds like. So I think the sample's good, but I definitely think that we can make some improvements. So the first basic things you can do are just do simple things like change the tempo and change the pitch. So every 100 cents that you pitch it up in FL is basically pitching it up one semitone. So you can pitch it up as much as you want, or you can pitch it down as much as you want. Personally, I think it's going to sound better pitched up, so I'm just going to pitch it up a little bit. So the first thing we're going to throw on is some chorus. Turn it down a little bit so it doesn't sound too wet. And I think I'm going to pitch it down one more. I think that sounds good. So yeah, the chorus will definitely emphasize the sound, and then the reverb, we could throw it on to make it sound nice and wide. So as you can see, when you turn up the size, it makes the little circle icon get bigger, and that can just symbolize it being wider. And then for this loop in particular, I'm just going to throw on an EQ. This isn't a part of the whole tutorial on how to improve guitars, just for this loop specifically. So yeah, that's basically what you can do. You can just add as many effects as you want with the same loop. But then what we can do is we can duplicate it. Throw it in there. And then we can basically completely change it up and add another layer. So we're just going to set it to close to the same sound that we had before. And with this one, we're going to pitch it up an octave. So we're going to do that. And then since we pitched it up before, we have to go to this other pitch wheel too, till we find 100 cents. There we go. So the new pitch will definitely sound very pitchy, and you'll be able to hear the high pitch a lot, and the pitch will probably not sound very good.
So you just gonna bring me a birthday gift on my birthday to my birthday party on my birthday with a birthday gift? Happy birthday?
We're gonna throw on these effects that we had on the same one, and then we'll fix that. So this is basically the sauce right here. You're gonna turn it up, the size up, turn the dry all the way down, and then turn the wet up. So that would basically not turn up, but like give it so much more ambiance, and then make it sound less pitchy and more like an instrument itself, instead of like an automated or like computerized octave change. And then we'll just throw on this EQ to kind of fix that up too, because it helps kind of filter out the pitchy sound a little bit more. And then we'll turn down the highs on the original, just to give the high pitch one a little bit of room too. And then so we have 2 layers, right? So lastly, the last thing I'm going to show you is we can add a 3rd layer, but this will only work for some guitar loops. It doesn't really work for all of them because sometimes it won't sound right, but it's a very simple thing. You're just going to have to set it to a mixer track. I'm just going to turn it down relative to the other tracks, and then we're just going to add the same effects that we had on the original. Make it nice and wide again. And then we're gonna throw on some good old-fashioned gross beat and go to everybody's favorite, the half speed or halftime. And every time you put on gross beat, make sure you go and set 4 beats for both of those so that the sound will never change as you're making your beats in FL Studio. And so yeah, it'll like pitch it down and slice up the sound. So it'll only work for some beats, but for this one it doesn't sound that bad. Let me turn it in. Throw on an EQ, yeah. Yeah, a lot of times when you gross beat your sounds, especially guitars, it can mix with the 808 and kind of drown out both the sounds and make them sound muddy. So always make sure that you throw on your EQs for sounds that you have gross beat on, just so that the 808 has room. So yeah, just to put in perspective, this is what it sounds like without, at the start, like before we put on effects. And then with the effects and with the extra tracks that we added. Actually, I gotta turn the sounds down a little bit. These are a little bit low. I don't think the halftime sounds great on this, but it doesn't necessarily sound bad. But yeah, there are so much more ways you could edit your guitar melodies and samples. These are just some of the main things I do. So yeah, go check out Cymatic's website, and whatever other tutorials, or if you want me to do, you know, whatever other videos you're thinking of, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear. And yeah.